Okay. Hey guys, Kate here. Happy Monday. I know all of you are watching from all different time zones and whatnot. So for those of you on the Eastern time zone with me, good evening. For those of you who are not, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it may be. Thank you for being here. I'm really pumped to finally get to share this with you. So I honestly never even considered sharing this. This is my framework for how I coach instructors because I didn't think it would be helpful for you guys unless I was coaching you. But I do think that understanding, first of all, what the heck I do for my instructors is helpful. And I also think that, okay, maybe you're not ready to be coached or have a coach. Maybe you can use this and maybe it will help you just knowing what's out there and how I work and how I train people. So that being said, let's dive right in. This is called the Instructor Trifecta Matrix. This is literally the exact framework that I use when I'm trying to coach my instructors. So let's do this. First of all, actually, before we jump in, I just want to say you're going to have questions. If you're on live, you get to ask as many freaking questions as you want. That's the beauty of being on live. Yeah, awesome. So there's a chat box. I believe if you on the bottom of the Zoom window, you should see something that says chat. Feel free to type the questions in there. I will answer them at the end. I want to get through everything so it makes sense. It's all cohesive. I might even answer your questions as we go on, but that's okay. Ask them as you have them. Put them in the chat box. I will get to them at the end, I promise. I'm going to try and keep the slide piece of this, the informational piece of this, to less than 30 minutes, so we have plenty of time to ask questions at the end, or I'll answer them, you ask them. Okay, so here we go. Oh, and let me know if you can't hear me or see me or any of that good stuff. We want to make sure we don't have any technical difficulties. So let me share my screen here. Good old PowerPoint. Okay, so hopefully you can see me and see the slides. I want to make sure you can still see my face, so I'm going to keep this up. So, Instructor Trifecta Matrix, me with my hands up cheering. That is, I put that there. This is a little weird, but I put that there, guys, because when I teach, let me rewind. When I first started teaching, I was so nervous. I would get up there, I would be shaky. My cheeks would get red. They're kind of red now because I'm a little nervous. No, I'm just kidding. But cheeks red, nervous, voice shaky, everything, you name it. I would get up there, I'd be nervous the whole time. I felt like it wasn't good. I felt like nobody liked me. I felt like they were all staring at me because they were. And I would end class and I would just feel so relieved it was over. And then I would get ready to teach another class later in the week, and I would be dreading it because I'd be so nervous, and it was just miserable. It was freaking miserable. I remember thinking, like, why the heck did I do this? Like, why did I think I'd be good at this? Why did I think I'd enjoy this? Why did I think my passion for fitness would translate immediately? Because it didn't. And I wrote this in a blog recently, but I will say, don't share this, but I totally gave up on teaching for a while. So I started in 2007. From 2009 till like 11, I barely taught, maybe taught a little bit in there, but minimal, because I was just so burnt out from trying so hard and having it not work. Then I decided to give it another shot. I worked really hard. I found some mentors that really helped me. I did all the continuing ed I could, which, full disclosure, didn't help a lick. And I just pushed through. And now, so this picture of me right here, pure elation. When I finish my classes, like, for example, my Saturday waitlisted 20-person class, best feeling in the freaking world. It does not get better. So hang on. I promise we can get you there. I promise we can get you there. And it's so worth it, because that confidence and that joy translates to the rest of your life. It's not just about that room. It really will change you as a person. So I don't mean to get all like mushy on you, but it's as incredible as you imagined it could be when you decided to try to be an instructor. That's how incredible it can be times a million. It just takes some time to get there. And that's what we're going to do. So, Instructor Trifecta Matrix. So, 3 pieces to this. Over the years, I've learned that there are 3 main parts to being an instructor. So one, your ride. So that's like what you would imagine. The technical pieces, the logistics, and we'll talk about this. Your body and your mind. So those, you're probably like, what are you talking about? We'll explain. I'll explain as we go further. I just want you to get a general idea of what we're looking at here. So we're going to start with your ride because that's the one that probably makes the most sense to you. So your ride, what you learned in your certification, if you have one. So how to build a class profile, how to set up a bike, how to have proper form, all of the kind of logistics, right? That the black or white, yes or no, well, not always, but you know what I mean? And then maybe teaching to the beat or rhythm-based cycling, if that's what you do. If you don't, totally cool. Place for everyone. I truly believe that. That's what the crew is all about. But if you don't teach to the music, maybe it's something you try, because I do think there's a lot of value in learning how to teach to the beat. It's kind of cool because it gives your riders another way to find the pace. And it's not just about a number on a screen, or, you know, if you don't even have a screen, it's even harder, right? So that is a very valuable skill to learn. Class structure and design, the flow of the class, the transition. So a lot of this stuff we talk about in the crew. A lot of this stuff I try to teach you piecemeal in 5-minute videos, which is very difficult because at any given time, you're going to have a different concern, a different question, a different problem. And you need to answer then and there if you really want to grow, because you'll forget. And then you won't be able to ever learn the answer until it happens again, and then you'll need it again. And so it's a bad cycle. Auditions and interviews. So this doesn't really get talked about very much because, well, I don't know. People leave their certification and they think, oh, now I'm just going to go get a job. It doesn't work like that. You have to be, it's a kind of a cutthroat place to work now. People really want this job because it's amazing, right? So you have to compete for it. And sometimes it can be pretty rough. I had one of my champions recently, Mary, joined right before she joined, and kind of the catalyst for her wanting to join, she had lost her job. They fired her just because she wasn't filling a room, which was totally unfair because she had only had the class for a few weeks, but nevertheless, they fired her. She was super discouraged, no confidence whatsoever. She joined the champions. In 3 months, she has one job and she's auditioning for another one. She just auditioned for it, actually. So she might have a second job. And her confidence and her energy and her happiness when she gets up there and teaches is just totally incredible. And a big piece of that had nothing to do with this ride piece, although we did work on that a lot, but the body and the mind piece, which we're going to get to. But everything in your ride. So whether you do choreography or not, whether you ride to the beat or not, your class structure, your auditioning, your class or your manager, your riders, issues with them, all that sort of day-to-day stuff in building, planning, executing a class, everything associated with that. And of course, class attendance, right? We all want to improve our class attendance. So these are all things we think about when we think about our ride. So your body. A lot of this is self-care related. Now, I throw that term around, everyone throws that term around now like it means nothing, or they don't even know what it means and they use it. Self-care is very important. It is exactly what it sounds like, taking care of yourself. Now, in this context, I'm talking about your body, your physical body. So I don't know a single certification that really emphasizes the importance of taking care of your body as an instructor. It might be like 3 sentences in the entire certification material. It is so important. If you're someone who teaches or wants to teach more than once, twice a week, even then, you got to take care of your body, guys, because it's your temple, right? It's everything. Especially if this is a full-on career for you. If you're a fitness instructor and that is your career, you're going to really need to, and you already know this, I'm sure, but you might not have perfected it. You're going to really have to take care of your body. So it's crazy because we spend, if we're teaching, we're focused on all these other bodies in the room, right? Are they safe? Are they having fun? Are they riding too hard? Are they not riding hard enough? Do they like us? All that little stuff, we're so worried about them. But then like when we think about ourselves, we graze right over it, right? So important. So I want you to think about, and this is what, it's hard without a coach. This is what I do with my champions, and we kind of run through everything. Usually what happens is we'll be on our biweekly calls and they start talking about something. I'm like, hang on, back up. Did you Have you been getting enough sleep? Where's this? Where's that? There's always like little things, especially with hormonal balance with us women. Men, if you're listening, it's equally as important for you. Those hormones can rip you to shreds if you don't take care of them. So all of this stuff, cross-training, very important as well, in a way that works for you. So preventing burnout, stress, all this stuff. The key to remember here is that all of this stuff is different for each and every one of us. So you need a coach, or you need someone, unless you're a genius, to help you figure out where your balance is with all of this. And it can get very tricky. So I highly recommend you have someone help you get there, help you asking the right questions and figuring out what's missing, what needs to be connected, and what needs to be maybe taken down a notch. So let's move on to the last piece of our matrix, the mind. Now, I did say that they are all equally as important as one another, but when it comes to the mind, I think that is where everything starts. I really believe, and you can't even see this because my face is in the way, our thoughts become our actions, which become our habits, which become our lives. Basically, what I'm saying here is the stories we tell ourselves matter, right? If we are not confident, we're insecure, and we tell ourselves that we're not great instructors, and, people don't like our class, and, I just, I try my best, but I don't really know how to plan a class. I don't really know how to get people in there and get people excited. I don't really know how to get excited because I get so nervous. If you tell yourself these things, these thoughts, they sit with you and they affect the way that you teach and they affect the way that you live. It's just tearing yourself down. It's negative. So what I do with my champions is I created what I call a 5-step mindset shift formula. And we basically start with the limiting beliefs and move them out of it. And I teach you a process for that so that when you get up there, whether it's right before class, in the middle of class, after class, or totally unrelated to class and out in the world somewhere, you have a way to recognize those beliefs and pull yourself away from them, which is much harder than it sounds, and it takes practice. But having that formula is important. So again, if you don't have a coach, I think it's really important for you to figure out, okay, what are those limiting beliefs holding you back? What's keeping you from that confidence? What's keeping you from that positive growth mindset, the enthusiasm, the energy, the excitement to teach, that jubilation, like I was saying, the elation, the facial expression on the front cover of me finishing my class? What's keeping you from something like that? Because if you can't figure that out, then all of the rest is lost. Like I said, each piece has to fit together to get that rock star instructor. And this mindset piece is no less important than the others, if not more important. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. So why is this not? There we go. So this is kind of what it looks like. I'll let you soak it in for a second. Your ride, your mind, your body, just with a little bit more detail, so it makes a little bit more sense. But this is how I think about how I coach. These are all the things that we look at. I think, you got to get the technical components of the ride down, and then you're more available to be in your power as an instructor, but you also have to be taking care of your body, preventing burnout, and of course, getting in the right mindset in a way that brings confidence, positivity and energy to your room, to the bike. It's really hard to get all this down. It's really overwhelming. It's a lot, and it's hard to figure out where to focus, right? Because we don't always know where we're missing something. That's totally normal. I would love, like I said, if you're someone who's like, I give up, I don't know. Or, I really want to get better, but I have no idea where to even start with this. That is what a coach is for. And I know I'm totally someone who would never hire a coach. I didn't. If I could go back 10 years ago when I was in that funk, when I gave up teaching for a little while, and I had found someone who was like, listen, I'll give you 3 months. We'll work together. We'll nail it. And you're going to leave feeling confident on the bike, feeling excited to teach, and being able to fill a room with riders who love you, I'd have been like, hell yeah, why the hell not? Now, the whole reason I run my business, guys, the whole reason I do this is because it didn't exist for me, and I want it for you. Because the worst thing in the world is to do something out of passion and be excited to start and to get into it and to get good at it and to inspire people and to influence them in a positive way to make them healthier, and then do it and feel discouraged about it and have it not work and have to give up on it. It's the worst. It's the absolute worst. And I don't want that for you. Even if you're not quite to that point yet, if you don't figure out a way to bring all this together, you might get there. So let's prevent that, please. I don't want that to happen. And if you think about the way you live your life as an instructor, it's kind of a reflection of your life in general, right? We're there to inspire and to make people feel better about themselves and make people feel healthier. That's probably the kind of person you are. You're probably the kind of person who you want people around you to feel better. You want to be the person they come to. You want to be the person that makes them feel like they're good enough, right? So that's kind of how we need to live our life. Like, we're growth-minded. We want to learn from others as much as we want to help them. And that's what this mentorship that I do, this Cycle Circle Champions mentorship, is all about, because we work with each other, with our peers, but we also, I am there to coach you and mentor you. It's important to always have a coach. I believe that. I have a coach myself. I think everyone should have a coach, because there's always something you're missing, and there's always something that somebody else could do better and teach you. So here's who I'm looking for. I'm looking for instructors who are relatively new to teaching. So I'm talking less than 2 years of experience teaching. Now, if you're over 2 years and you still feel like you really need the help, let's talk, because you could still be a good fit for this, but that's the general. Honestly, most people are way less than that. Most people are just starting out teaching, who I coach, but that doesn't mean there isn't room for others. So keep that in mind. So you could be auditioning, you could just have a job, you could have been fired from a job, you might not even have a job yet, you might not have a certification. If you have any doubt or any question, email me, info@kateturner.com. We'll hop on a call, we'll figure it out. So if you feel like you don't have confidence on the bike, I know a lot of you feel that way. If you feel like you spend too much time planning your classes, and you can't, you want to fill your room with riders, right? You want to find your tribe. Who doesn't want that? And you can't figure out what you're missing. That's the worst. So those are the people that I'm looking for. Now, here's what you get. If you want to become a champion, this is what we do. So it's a lot of stuff. What I will say is it's very individualized. So we will start off, and if you join within, I don't know, I will tell you, but I'm going to have a bonus. I don't even think I've announced this yet, where people get a free 30-minute call with me if they join by a certain date, which I haven't figured out yet. But so if you join soon, you will get a free 30-minute call with me. So you're going to do a welcome packet, read through that, and do an instructor assessment. Then we're going to hop on the call and we're going to jumpstart things so we can figure out exactly where we need to focus, especially within the matrix, to get you up and running as fast as possible. So that call is huge. Could be a great way to jumpstart things. You're going to get access to a closed private Facebook group with just the other champions in it and me. Ongoing support, daily check-ins. I'm going to come in there every day, Monday through Friday, so that I don't lose you, because accountability is huge. And if I'm not in there on your tail, you might disappear on me. So I'm going to make sure I do that. And of course, if you have any question, this isn't going to be like the crew, right? Like the crew, I stopped coaching in there. I just do mini trainings once a week for 5 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes when I talk too much. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be similar to old HHH, Turner Happy Hour, where you can ask whatever you want, except this time it's going to be all day, every day. So you post any question in there. You can do it via text, or you can even leave a video if you want. I will answer it in detail just for you. So I will coach directly to any of my champions, and they know that. I'm in there all the time. Now, here is a really cool aspect. Oh, I forgot about the biweekly group calls via Zoom. So let me go back. So on the biweekly group calls, so every other week, we will hop on a Zoom call just like this, except you guys will be there too. And we'll talk through anything you're going through that week or those couple of weeks, or just anything you want to learn about. I'm going to give every champion a designated amount of time, and we're just going to talk through whatever you want. Anything. And this is where I am able to pull out certain, because I'm going to ask you questions, right, as we go through it, and I'm going to be able to pull out what I need to coach you, because again, you're probably not realizing what you're missing. So this is the big piece that I think gets overlooked. Nobody else does this that I know of. I don't even know of any indoor cycling instructor coaches, but none of them do this. Video audits. So Kim, one of my champions from last round, loved these. Basically, what I'm going to let you do twice a month, so that's 6 times total, right? Because it's a 3-month program. I'm going to let you film yourself teaching for 5 minutes or less. And you could do this in an empty room just practicing, or you can actually film a piece of a class if you have one. Post it in the group, and I'm going to critique you on everything related to your ride, that ride piece, right? So form, instruction, cueing, coaching, everything. And that is how you are going to learn in the best way. Because again, you're not going to realize the little things that I can point out. I'm going to tell you what you're doing really well too, which is also really important to know, so you're not questioning it. And there's just going to be so much room for growth there. So that piece is one of my favorite pieces of this whole mentorship. And the other benefit of that is everyone's going to be posting their video audits in the group, so you can learn from how I coach the others as well. So there's so much learning. You're going to be sponges. You're just going to soak up everything. It's going to be great. So I think I had one more. Oh yeah. So this is just facts. You don't need a certification. If you have one, great. If not, great. You don't need to be a rock star instructor yet. That's the whole point, right? We're going to learn together. So if you have any questions about where you stand as an instructor and if you'd fit in, again, email me. We'll hop on a call. We'll talk about it. I don't want you to hesitate here. I think if you're even questioning if you can be in the mentorship, you probably should be. So just shoot me an email and we'll figure it out. Okay. I feel like there was more that I wanted to say, but I'm going to let you guys ask your questions now. I'll dig into the group chat. Yeah. Oh, and this is what I meant to say. The Cycle Circle Champions, if you want to read more detail or if you are ready to sign up, which, like I said, the sooner the better, because I'm going to keep it small, very small. And I also want to make sure you get that 30-minute call. So check out this website. And you can sign up there. And if you have any issues, let me know. Okay, questions. Let me read through. How do I get rid of this darn video? Okay, let me read through these.